Hi everyone, Hannah here. Welcome back to the channel. For anyone that's new, welcome. My name is Hannah. This is a bit of a different video. This is going to be like a medical update, bits and bobs. It's going to encompass a few weeks. Right now, I'm just about to leave to go to Good Hope Hospital in Birmingham for pre-op. I need to go in for a day procedure before, in probably around November time, I have my kind of big, hopefully last operation. You never know. Even though it's only a pre-op, so I'll probably just kind of take in bloods and blood pressure and that fun stuff. I'm still nervous. I still get quite nervous around hospitals. I'll explain kind of where I am at the moment and what the plan is and what's going on in a bit. First, I need to get to Birmingham and go do some nervous stuff. So the pre-op is done. It was just kind of a standard pre-op. They take bloods, do your height and weight and blood pressure, ask about any kind of medical history, any allergies, all that fun stuff. Right, slight backstory for anyone that might be new and doesn't kind of know what's going on with me medically wise. This particular issue is ulcerative colitis, which is a form of inflammatory bowel disease. Now there's quite effectively two forms. There's Crohn's disease, which can affect from your mouth all the way down to your bum, the entire thing, or ulcerative colitis, which is what I have, where that's kind of local to your bum and your bowel, the large intestine. I'm trying to think dates now. When was it? February 2020, just before lockdown happened, which was not fun. I had my bowel removed. So I tried every medication that the hospital would give me. I tried absolutely everything. Nothing worked. Steroids would get on top of things for a short amount of time, but they are just kind of like a quick fix. Steroids are not a permanent kind of answer, and the horrible side effects of the moon face, wanting to eat everything, the mood swings, that was not fun. And the breakouts, I got very spotty on steroids. So they're not in any way fun, but they kind of got on top of the colitis a bit for me. I was never in remission. So the decision was made. I would say I was not forced into it at any point, but I was highly recommended. You should have your bowel removed and have a stoma, because no medication was working, even up to the infusions, which are one of the strongest things at the time. There might be new medications out now, and nothing was working. Oh, the lost cause. They labelled me a medical non-responder. So love that for me. So February 2020, I had my entire bowel removed. The entire thing was a mess. And I did wonder if that was why I didn't respond to any medication, because my entire bowel was just full of ulcers. The anaesthetist, that word, came to see me afterwards and said it was the worst one that he personally had ever seen, and he guaranteed within 6 months I would have been in as an emergency with a perforated bowel had I not kind of chosen to go in at that point. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that I chose to have it, because you don't want to go for emergency surgery. No thanks. If we can avoid that, we're going to avoid it. So I had a stoma right here. It was different to adjust to. What I will say though, with the ulcerative colitis, this video might be too much information for some people. Poop talk. We're poop talking. So if you don't like that, feel free to not watch. I'm not going to make anyone watch anything they don't want to. I was going to the toilet up to 20 times a day. There was pretty much no control. I would have a certain feeling in my stomach. I would need to get to a toilet. My bowel was going to empty whether I was on a toilet or not. Yes, I had accidents. I would carry supplies with me to clean and change, all that fun stuff. Very embarrassing. Not nice, and very draining. Even if I would barely eat, I would still be going to the toilet. So I did lose a lot of weight. It was very unhealthy. My hair started to fall out. It was just not a fun time all around. So I had the stoma. It was a massive adjustment. Very big adjustment. Some people cope perfectly fine with a stoma. Some people don't like them. Honestly, it's personal preference. Mine functioned perfectly well. I just didn't really like it. So when I saw my surgeon next, she said, I have the option of trying a J pouch, which effectively, how can I describe it now? I'll pop some NHS links down below. Feel free to do your own research. She will use, or she has used, I had another surgery after that. When was that one? September 2021. 22. September 2021 or 22. No, I think it was 21. Either one, it was a September. When, oh, goodness me, my brain is mush right now. Anywho, I had the starting of a J pouch. So effectively, I have no bowel. I will never have a bowel again. That's not coming back. There's no prosthetic bowel, nothing like that. So my large intestine, gone. My appendix was also gone because the bowel was attached to the large appendix, like this. And my appendix at the time was fine, but because of how bad my bowel was, she didn't want to risk my appendix having appendicitis or anything like that. So we don't need it, get rid of it. She also said she lopped off a massive cyst on my right ovary while she was in there, which, bit of an MOT in there, love that for me. Those sorts of pain, that's a different issue. This video is not for that issue. I'm a medical disaster. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, in the third film, when Theoden is under the horse and he goes, my body is broken. I like to say that every now and again. If anything can go wrong, it seems to go wrong. But we have to smile about these things. Don't get me wrong, there are days when I do have a downward spiral. Sometimes you've got to have a cry. If you want to cry, have a cry. But if we don't smile about it, we'll cry about it. So there are people that have to go through much worse than I do, and I try and look on the bright side most of the time. Sometimes we need to have a little teeny tiny cry, and it's okay to be scared. Not gonna lie, when I got to the hospital, I had a moment. I didn't cry, but I had that kind of, oh, it's happening, even though it was just the pre-op. Hospitals can still freak me out a little bit. Anyway, so J pouch, carry on. I have all of my small intestine, so the surgeon has used my small intestine to create an internal pouch that looks like a J. That's why it's called the J pouch. I believe you can have a W pouch where it kind of loops twice. Mine is just a J, so she's effectively, if this was my small intestine, sewn this bit together to make a J. My rectum is gone as well because that was ulcered and not very nice. So I have a makeshift bum and a J pouch that has been healing. I also had, during that surgery, I still have a stoma. Mine is right here. Mine is on my right side and it's a bit above my belly button. It's quite high, which can be annoying at times. It is a loop stoma, which I found out the hard way. So I have stoma bags that kind of push inwards to push the stoma out, and then that's not very fun. That was trial and error with those stoma bags, I have to say. Different stoma bags suit different people. I personally have Coloplast. The sticky doesn't affect my skin nearly as much as others. I tried some salts bags, and whilst they felt better externally, the glue, I could never get them off. Whenever I got the bag off, half of the glue was left on me, so sticky wise perfect, but I think my skin just reacted a bit to the glue. Anyway, bit more information. I'm going to waffle a lot in this video, so excuse the pre-waffle. I'm probably going to go off on multiple tangents because if my brain's thinking it, I'm going to say it. So the J pouch has been healing nicely, I would hope. That surgery took a while longer than expected because she said there was a lot more scar tissue. So I've had a sneaky feeling for a few years, possible endometriosis. There's a lot of other stuff going on there, yet to be confirmed, blah blah blah, la la la. Back to the J pouch. So saw the surgeon again a couple months back, and it's gross. It's hospital appointments, fingers up the bum, gross. But they have to test these things. It happens. It's medical stuff. So there we go. My J pouch, and she said that it felt a bit tight, as in the healing of the pouch, so I've healed a bit too tightly. So I went for, I can't remember the technical name of it, where pipe up your bum, love that, and they kind of put some liquid in there that shows up on the machine. I don't know why I'm doing this, it's because at the time I was lay on this side and the machine was there, so they put kind of this liquid up there that shows up on a certain machine to see how it flows. That's how we discovered I had a loop, because from there it went into the stoma bag. that was fun. The doctor was suddenly like, oh, you've got a loop stoma, haven't you? And I'm thinking, yes, okay, I don't know, but clearly I must have. So the results from that were that the pouches just healed too tight. So if she did the reversal, I say she, if my surgeon did the reversal surgery now, then she could do it all. She's phenomenal. She does laparoscopic and robotic. So hopefully minimal healing time, which is better for everybody involved, really. It might fail, it might not empty properly, it just wouldn't be a fun time. So the pre-op today was for in a couple of weeks, which will also be in this video. I will link the two together to make a slightly longer one. I have to go in as a day patient for kind of dilution. Effectively, I need to loosen up. They will just dilate the J pouch to make sure it is at an acceptable measurement, that everything will work. I don't really know all the technical terms. So I don't need bowel prep because I don't have a bowel. Normally if you're going to have a colonoscopy or any sort of camera up the bum, you need to have the bowel prep, which is horrific, by the way. That stuff, it's effectively laxatives, and then you can't eat and it flushes you all out. Because I don't have a bowel, that's something that I managed to get away without needing, which I'm very appreciative of because it tasted absolutely gross. If you ever need to have that, good luck. Not that I'm trying to put anybody off, but honestly, it's gross. I found if I have a straw and try and put the straw as far back in my mouth as I can and just drink, so that you don't really taste it on your taste buds, that's just going down. That was the best way that I found to actually stomach any of that stuff. Blech. Thankfully, hopefully, I say I might never have to do that again. I might have to. So, love that for me. So it will be, she said, about half an hour for the actual procedure itself, because it's going to hurt, but they don't put you to sleep. I very politely asked for as much sedation as you are willing to give me. So hopefully they will pump me full of that, because I know it's going to be incredibly uncomfortable, probably quite painful, which scares the heck out of me. I'm not great with hospitals. A lot of people have said to me in the past, but you know what's coming, so you can be a bit more prepared. I'm kind of the opposite. I know what's coming. I know the pain and uncomfortableness, uncomfort that's coming. So that makes me more scared because I know, because I've experienced it. I know the pain. I know how uncomfortable it is. Obviously everyone's different. Different people have different pain thresholds as well. Mine's not great, which is just rude. Very rude. Why do I not have a high pain threshold and can just do these things? So lots of sedation. So they've got obviously Mum's details for when she very kindly takes me back home afterwards, because I won't be able to drive for the rest of the day. That would not be safe. We don't want sedation and we don't want to drive. That wouldn't be good at all, would it? So once that's all done and the pouch has hopefully stayed dilated, because she did say some people have to go back in and have it done a couple of times. Hopefully I'm not one of them. Hopefully it's just the once. Fingers crossed. Keep everything crossed. Arms, legs. Cross your eyes if you can. That it's just the one trip for that. And the current plan, all being well, is mid-November I will have the big surgery, the removal of the stoma and the connecting of the pouch. That I will film that and do that separately as its own thing. It's going to be a big adjustment. It can take 6 to 12 months for everything to kind of fully settle, because it's going to be a massive change again, and there's no guarantee it's going to work. It's the sort of thing where until the surgery is done, there's no way of knowing. I might wake up and still have a stoma and it failed during surgery. It might fail after a week, it might fail after a month, it might be a decade. I might have decades. It's one of them things. There's no way of knowing. So hopefully you've enjoyed the first part of this video. The next clip will be mini procedure day. I probably won't have a face on, because why would I have a face on to go into hospital? Obviously I was doing other things this afternoon, so that's why I've got a face on right now. That day, I'm starting to waffle now because I'm nervous about it. I'm just hoping that half an hour goes quickly. What I might do is try and take my phone in and put like half of a headphone in, so I can try and distract myself with a little bit of music. If they might let me do that, I don't know. They might play music in the room. We'll see. Have I mentioned? I don't know. Good Hope Hospital. I used to be under the care of New Cross in Wolverhampton, but my surgeon moved to Good Hope, and I love my surgeon. I don't say that lightly. You just kind of, we've had that bond now where my life is literally in her hands and I trust her with it. So I didn't want to go with anybody else. She's absolutely wonderful. She's not doing this day thing, it's a separate one, but obviously she'll do the full one at the end. So next time you see me, it will be mini op day. Morning everybody. I'm hoping this microphone is going to help. I'm on my phone right now, not taking a camera into hospital with me. That would be a bit weird. It is Monday the 23rd of September. I nearly said December. It's not December, it's September. What time is it? 7:45 a.m. I'm a very tired, no makeup Hannah today. We're on the car park. The fear has started to set in now. The hunger as well. I've not had anything to eat or drink for a while. They said the procedure itself will take about half hour and then I'll be in recovery for a while because I'm taking all the sedation they are willing to give me because we don't want pain, do we? So I've got to go check in. We are a little bit early, but we'd rather be here early and be here than faff. And it's raining. You see the lovely rain? Isn't that just wonderful? That's just what we want. So I have got a coat that's kind of doubling up as a bit of a blanket. And I'm obviously in comfortable clothes because hospital. And my hair's doing whatever it wants to do. We've tied it up to keep it out of the way. And I'm waffling because I'm nervous now. So I suppose we best go to get checked in. It's very dismal looking. We need to go in here in the treatment centre and get checked in. I don't know if it's open yet. I would imagine it might be. So we're all checked in now, we just need to wait. This is where the nerves build up. I'm the first one up here. I'm in area H. It's a bit eerily quiet. But hopefully that means I'm kind of first in, first out. That would be appreciated. Gown is on, cannula is in. I am being a bit quiet now. I'm in the changing room. I'm now going to go and sit in the waiting room. So I'll probably see you when it's done. Don't like needles. I bled as well, which didn't help. Lovely gown. Got my dressing gown as well. Got my lovely Disney Crocs because comfort and Disney. So I'm waffling a bit because I'm incredibly nervous. Waiting room is just next door, so I'm going to sit there for a bit and then hopefully it all goes as smoothly as possible. All done. Hopefully you can hear me. I've put the microphone just below. They did give me an enema in the end just to make sure. Wasn't pleasant. I've had the no needles now. Had the cannula out. Had sedation. I did get incredibly nervous beforehand. The nurses here, wonderful. They're so lovely. I still feel a bit out. My eyes aren't focusing properly. They've just sat me up and then I'll get changed in a little bit and have something to eat and drink. Probably stay for another hour because my blood pressure was a bit low for them. So they're just keeping an eye on me, making sure everything's okay. I think he said it went well. It's sore and painful. So chill, get dressed, then what? Drink and food, and hopefully then go home. I'm sat round in recovery now. Got a drink, got a sandwich. I feel out of it. Bit of pain, discomfort, to be expected. I'm waffling, so I'll probably sign off here, and when I'm back home I should be a bit more with it to talk a bit better. It's now the next day. Yesterday was a slight bit of a write-off. I got home, I chilled, I had a nap, I had some lovely food because let's face it, hospital food is not the best, but they did want me to eat and drink before I left, so I did have those bits and bobs. So some snackies when I got home, had a nap, had a shower to kind of de-hospital. There's a particular smell with hospitals and the cat smelt it straight away. He went to sniff my hand and was kind of, he's like, where have you been? You smell a bit questionable. I'm still in a bit of pain, so painkillers. It's very sore down there. The doctor said that it went well. On the it's because I had the sedation, it's very blurry as to what I do and don't remember with it. I remember it being incredibly uncomfortable and painful, and I'm pretty sure I remember seeing on the screen when they did the dilation, they effectively put a balloon up there to where the pouch had healed too tightly and dilated it out. I'm pretty sure that I can remember seeing that on the screen. Kind of sure. The doctor said it all went well. He said he did see something in there that he fully believes is benign. Scary, but also not in a... Scary, but not. and that he took 2 biopsies to be safe, sent them off. Fingers crossed it's just something weird. Last time when I had the actual J-pouch surgery, this was a different doctor that did that one. The surgeon said there was a lot of scar tissue around there, so clearly my body's just not very happy at the moment, is it? But all went well. I still feel a little bit, which I suppose I will for a few days. It's going to be sore down there. They said to expect a bit of bleeding. That's completely normal, especially when you have a biopsy, because they've taken some of your body away, so you're bound to bleed a little bit. So went back into work today. Bestie Amy told me I was mad for going back into work, but it's fine. I got to see her, so it's all good. Next plan is the kind of completion surgery. So to join the... my brain right now is not... it's not fully there, which hopefully you can all appreciate, and just let me have a little bit of time. Anyway, what was I trying to say? So, stoma is right here at the moment. The plan, which currently is aiming for about mid-November, to remove the stoma and join everything up to the J-pouch. So no stoma, and then I'll go to the toilet from the bum end. That's the plan. We won't know until it happens, if it's worked, all that kind of malarkey. Rough 6 to 12 months as like a full recovery and getting into what my new normal will be. I'll be up and about obviously after a few weeks, but the kind of settling into my new normal, that's what's going to take a while, and kind of finding routines, all that fun stuff. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone that sent me lovely messages, whether it be in person, on my phone, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. I got a little bit emotional last night because I had such lovely messages. I am feeling a bit sorry for myself. I think it's allowed every now and again. Sometimes you have those why me sort of days where you just feel bleh, and you're allowed to have a day or week where you don't feel your best. It's one of them things, isn't it? Sometimes we just need to have a good cry. Sometimes we need to let the eyes leak and get it all out. And there we go. So a massive thank you for all the lovely messages, and if anyone does have any questions on any of like my medical stuff or surgeries, feel free to put me a message. Obviously if it's in a YouTube comment I might not go into too much detail, but if it's an Instagram message I'll go into as much detail as you want me to, because some things might be a bit, like different people have kind of different gross level, what would you call that? For some people something might be too much information, whereas somebody else might be like, give me all the information. So as much as you want to know, I will tell you. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a completely different one, and it will be, fingers crossed, all goes to plan, touch wood. Don't have any wood around me. Billy bookcase. There's wood inside the billy bookcase. That'll do. That mid-November is the big boy surgery. That will be at Good Hope Hospital again, because my surgeon moved from New Cross and I love her to pieces. And she's the only person that I would trust with literally my life in her hands. So I suppose it's a good thing that we have that lovely relationship. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!